It's a brand new era for the Star Wars universe, or is it exactly the same? Rian Johnson, who is the director of Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi, will now be directing an entire new trilogy for Star Wars. So this says a lot of different things to us. One, it seems like Lucasfilm, Disney, etc. really believe that Star Wars Episode 8 is really good, at least by their standards. Another is that probably they're done experimenting with directors as far as Star Wars movies go. You may remember that Ron Howard took over the Han Solo movie. Colin Trevorrow got replaced by J.J. Abrams, who did Episode 7. I think they have decided on what they want to do, and that is probably to work with established and safe directors, someone who may be controllable. I don't know how much studio meddling is going on here. I would guess a considerable amount would be under Kathleen Kennedy's control or oversight. But it does have a few different things that we can think about in terms of what these movies will be. It wasn't clear though if this means we're done with the saga stories after Episode 9, aka the ones with Luke, Leia, Han, and their families and their extended friends, etc. Or if these will be replacing the standalone stories like Rogue One, the Han Solo movie, etc. I don't know what that means. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing to step away from the saga as we know it. I'm leaning toward good though, actually, if we do end up going that way. The only news we've really gotten is that it will be exploring parts of the galaxy we haven't touched before. So we can take that literally or we could take it figuratively. So if we were to take it literally, that might mean the unknown regions. So we know about the inner rim, the outer rim, and then beyond that. So Palpatine before has talked about this great potential for juicy, Sithy goodness out in the wild, unknown regions. We don't really know what's there, at least in the current canon established non-legends, aka expanded universe sector. We do know that Thrawn is from around there. So if they continued with him, I don't see that being very likely. He is focused on in Rebels. We could also go in a different direction. We could also decide, let's go forward in time. Let's go back in time. If we go back in time, we are probably looking at Knights of the Old Republic style stuff, which would be awesome because they're considered some of the better Star Wars games. It's not the original Battlefront 2, but those games were damn good. I enjoyed them. I have one on my phone. I paid $10 for it. I don't care. I've already played it, but I liked it that much. It has this very rich world where the Jedi are mostly, they have things under control. They also have the Republic, which is not very big, not very influential at this point. Or the beginnings of the Republic, to be more specific. We have Mandos, different factions as well, who cause trouble. I really like that world, and I like the idea of kind of touching back on the old EU that's been destroyed. However, I don't know if they would ever do that, if they would ever touch stuff that they've actually publicly distanced themselves away from. But I think a lot of people would be happy to see that kind of thing. We could also shoot way into the future. We could explore Rey's parents. We could explore things that were touched upon in the comic books. My guess, though, is that they would go somewhere new. So maybe they'd be just more influenced, because typically storytellers want a story they're in direct control of. And I don't really see them digging to someone else's work that was made 10, 20 years ago. So maybe influenced by Knights of the Old Republic, maybe influenced by Star Wars 1313, which was no Jedi, no Sith, just bounty hunters, Mandos, regular people. Rather worse than regular people because they were from deeper levels of Coruscant, so they were scum and villainy basically, which would be fun to follow as well. I would also, I mean, when you think about this, you can look back to the 1970s when they established the first Star Wars, and it was this new, refreshing thing, and they cast these unknowns in the roles who became stars, instead of like Farrah Fawcett as Princess Leia or something, which I like the way they went with it. So there is that potential to have kind of a nascent cycle of Star Wars, perhaps. I don't know which way they're gonna go. What do you think they're going to do? Please let me know below, and please like and subscribe for more.